The international break is well and truly over. It feels like a lifetime ago. Mohamed Kudus was netting a 89th minute equaliser at home to Newcastle to get us a point at home that day. Going into the international break, we had confidence. Is it still there? Well, there's only one way to find out. We take on Villa on Sunday at Villa Park on the 4:30 primetime Super Sunday kickoff. Thank you, Sky. And I'm delighted to say I've got a fan of each club joining me. Josh, of course, is here for a Villa preview. Josh, how are you?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Nigel is bringing the West Ham colours. Nigel, how are you?
Thanks. I'm good. Thanks, Josh. Thank you.
Josh, my name's not Josh. Come on, Nigel. Come on.
I got mixed up. It's all right, mate. There's two J's. Do you know what? That's
See?
water. That's water.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
It's got a slice of lemon in it.
Yeah, honestly. Josh, we'll start with you. Sum up Villa's season for us swiftly. So far.
I'd definitely say so far it's been very good. If you would have asked me at the start of the season, we'd be in fifth place and snapped your hand off. Obviously, the Wolves game was disappointing because I'd probably say it's 2 points dropped more than a point gained, because I think that could have took us on the same points as Man City. I think we would have been second or third and only a couple of points off the top. But as I say, fifth after 10 games, whatever it is, I'd definitely take that, even though we could be a bit higher. We're not playing too well in games, but we're grinding games out, and it's a good habit to get into, as I've said before, because the amount of times under Smith and Gerrard where we've absolutely battered teams to come away with nothing, we're getting to grind out games and take our chances. So, which is good to see. So, yeah, it's obviously the European start hasn't been the greatest. Just about managed to get past Zrinski in the last game, and obviously the Warsaw game in the first one was a complete disaster. But in the Premier League, it's been a very good start so far. So, yeah, hopefully we can continue it this weekend.
Yeah, Nigel, Villa are an interesting side. Obviously, pushed the big boys last year to get into the Europa Conference League stages. As Josh said, haven't started the best in that competition, but in the Premier League so far, it looks pretty good. And a couple of inconsistent results have stopped them from being well up there, and they've looked good so far this season, Nigel.
Yeah, they have looked good. And to be fair, it's always quite a difficult place to go, I feel. I don't feel super confident when we go to Villa Park, even though we've had some good results up there of late. But it's always they seem to play right against us. I don't know what it is, but you know, at the moment they've got some some of their guys are on fire. Watkins, obviously, he's firing all cylinders. McGinn, is he still? He still seems to be playing well. He seems to be a bit of a fans' favourite. They've got a couple of new guys in there, and they seem to be doing all right. Like you said, Josh, you're well happy to be where you are at the moment. It's funny because being a West Ham fan, we would have been happy to be where we are, but it seems that because of all the European glory in that, we've still got people moaning, even though we're unbeaten in Europe for 17 games. We're seventh, I think, in the Premier League, and we've still got people moaning, which is unbelievable.
We'll always have that. We'll always have that. But overall, Josh, how would you, or how much do you think Unai Emery has just revolutionised not only the team but this football club into where you want to be, which I think is where he's got you?
It's just been an unbelievable job, really. Like when he come in and Steven Gerrard was sacked, I think we were 17th point clear of the relegation zone after 10 games, and all we wanted him to do in the first season was just come in, secure some stability. If you can get off, but as long as you're not in a relegation battle and comfortable 11th, 12th, 13th around that mid-table area, we'd have all been happy. So to take us to Europe, it's like 9 to 10 places in the league. For when he come in, it was just a ridiculous job that he's done. And this season, obviously, we've started well as well. So, yeah, it's just been a breath of fresh air for everyone around the club. It's just been brilliant. Obviously, last 10 years have just been one lowest of lows for the club. So it's very good that he's come in and he's just completely changed things, and being back in Europe for the first time in about 15 years. Even if it is the Conference League, I don't really think most fans care. Just to have them European trips back again. So, yeah, he's done an unbelievable job.
Yeah, and my mind sort of goes back to 3 seasons ago where Villa took a point off of us on the last day of the season to stay in the league, and that was when nobody was allowed in the ground, and that the big huddle at the end, and Villa had stayed up for the full 3 seasons in Europe, and sort of challenging the big boys. In terms of West Ham, Nigel, I think it was really crucial going into that international break. We had a bit of confidence and we got it, and it came from our new star man Mohamed Kudus, who you feel has got to be pushing for a start.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Antonio started the season all right, but he's gone back to the same old Antonio. I think he got the old comfy slippers on after the first few games, and he's just turned back into the player that we know he is. I mean, he can be unstoppable on his day, but I mean, Kudus looks a real handful when he carries the ball and everything. But he still doesn't seem to look like a centre forward. To me, he seems to run from deep, and I've looked at a lot of the highlights from the Ajax games, and he's a player that makes a few players on and then sort of runs. He doesn't seem like let's knock it up front for him and use him as a centre forward. He doesn't seem like that sort of player at all to me.
No, I think it's a strange one with Kudus because we're thinking maybe he's going to go into that striker role, but I agree. I can't see that. I can see him more being and playing that winger role, in my opinion. Villa, from your perspective, from the outside looking in, Josh, from your side of things. Obviously, we've talked about West Ham every week on the Roundup Show. We have Villa. So, what have you made of us so far?
It's been a very good start to the season, hasn't it? Obviously, I think he was the top after about 4 or 5 games. Then a tough run. I think he's had City, Liverpool, and someone else. It was 3 tough games in a row. It was 3 losses. But then last few weeks, Steve won a couple of games and got back at the 7th. And I'd imagine he's definitely taken that at the start of the season. I believe he's doing okay in Europe as well. So it's not going to be easy for Villa at the weekend. Obviously, we know we're probably going to have most of the ball. But we've got to be careful because he's got some quick players on the break like Bowen, Antonio, Kudus. So we've got to be careful, and we've got to take the chances when we get them because we know that we can be punished on the break.
Yeah, and I think that's the obvious sort of interpretation that I take of what Moyes is going to do is we're going to give Villa the ball, Nigel, and we're going to do what we've done to quite a few sides so far this season, give them 80% of the ball and try and do them on the counter attack or a set piece.
Yeah, definitely. But I think in Edson Alvarez, we've got like a brick wall there. Although it worries me because I know he's going to get a red this season. He gets a yellow every game, but I think he's defensively, I think he's as good as Rice. He's, I think he's superb. But he's been the difference this season. Alvarez, he just protects. You see how low he gets to the ground when he's, not a lot of people get past him, and I think that's gonna stand us in good stead this season, mate. Having him there, I don't think about, obviously Kudos is a good player in that, but he's the one who's made most of the difference this season, I think.
Some of the somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Alvarez is one booking away from a one-match suspension. So if he gets it against Villa, then he'll miss Everton at home, which of course would be disappointing. But I mean, it's not the worst game to miss in the world, is it? It's not like we've got one of the huge big boys. I mean, to be fair, after Villa, who are a good side, we've got Everton, Brentford, who have been a little bit temperamental so far this season, Forest and Burnley, who have been pretty poor. So once we get through this game, I mean, we've had some quite tricky games so far this season. There's a myth going around from pundits that we've had an easy start. We haven't. We've played City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle. We'll play Villa on Sunday. We've played some really good sides. We've got results out of some of them, and I think the key is, Nigel, is just keeping the points flowing and keeping the confidence up, which hopefully we should have in bundles at the moment.
Yeah, I mean I can't believe that someone said we had an easy start to the season because everyone before the season started said, "Oh my God, I think we might not even, we might be bottom 4 or 5 games in because of the games we got." So I think we've done really well. And to go back to Josh, you're saying about Villa, I think that the thing that they're going to struggle with this season is the squad because is Emery going to think, right, because you've not had the best of starts in Europe, and he's going to think, right, I need to win a few games. What's he going to do? His squad rotation, because we have now actually got a really strong squad, which we haven't had for a long time. But I think that, he may be looking at that game on Thursday, think, what I mean? Just maybe resting a couple of us. I don't know.
Yeah. And Josh, I think the key part from that is that we haven't had to really worry about, or we need to desperately win this game, but it might get to a stage where there's a must-win game for Villa in the group stages of the European competition. How equipped do you think Emery's squad is to cope with the Thursday, Sunday football? Do you think that could play an impact a little bit later on into the season?
Well, we definitely tried to add a bit of depth in the summer, 5 new players in. But what I would have just done is for the first 3 games, just play your strongest team, try and get it done and dusted, and then for the last 3, just mix it up. But I think for that first game against Legia Warsaw, I do think he changed it a bit too much. I think he did like 6 or 7 changes, and some players haven't played a lot of games this season, and quite a few new ones have put in that hadn't really played together. So I think in that game he did change it a bit too much. But as we go through the tournament, hopefully he'll know how to rotate it, and he'll know his best 11 for which game. So it's been a difficult one, because obviously Thursday, Sunday, most weeks it's always going to be difficult. But he's done it before. He's won 4 Europa League, so you've got to trust him and just hopefully eventually get it right.
Yeah, I'd agree. Let's take some of your comments and see who has joined us tonight. Usual suspect, thanks for joining us. Kudus must start Sunday. The one thing I'd say about that is there was a report from a journalist midweek who said that both Alvarez and Kudus played on Wednesday night, late into the evening in English time, and they've had to fly all the way back across the world to get back to England. So there's reports that maybe Kudus and Alvarez could be obviously they'll be a jet lag by Sunday, but will they be just a little bit more tired, worse for wear than perhaps Jared Bowen, who hasn't really had to travel anywhere on international duty, just to go to Wembley twice. So there's a concern in that sense. Jay says, does anyone know about the club I heard earlier looking to buy Kudus from us? There was a report that I think Kudus' agent spoke out and said that Chelsea were after Kudus in the summer, but lowballed a bid, and we came in and bought him. So that was mildly amusing to see that Chelsea tried to sign Kudus before we swooped in and signed him. Lone Star London says Villa are dangerous. They are. They're a side that when they get it right, they're a really strong unit. And luckily for us, in recent years, Josh, you haven't got it right against us, and you'll be hoping that changes on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't ever remember us beating West Ham since I've been watching us, and I've been watching us since I think it was the 14-15 season. I don't think I ever remember us beating West Ham, so we haven't got a great record against his last few years, but hopefully Sunday that can change.
Well, I don't think it will. I mean, let's be honest about this, Josh. Let's be honest about this. Thank you very much for joining us. We are getting our annual double win over Villa. Let's hope so. 3-0 to the Mighty Hammers, says TSC. Shark says, I have read that online, Jay. It's Chelsea that bid in for him in the summer. Ajax turned the offer down. Yeah, I believe that is right. Simon, our resident Chelsea fan, thank you very much indeed for joining us. See, Sharky, you asked for a David Moyes members emoji. And I went and did it straight away after the last show. So it's good service here. It's good service. You won't get that anywhere else, Sharky. I can guarantee you with that. Let's scroll down on some of these comments. Budgie, thank you very much indeed for joining us, and Robert as well. He says, I think Kudus and Alvarez will start on the bench. I think he'll start Alvarez, and I think Kudus will be on the bench because I think Alvarez is just so pivotal to the way we play. I think if he's 80% there, I think Moyes starts him. To be honest with you, he has become so crucial to the style and to how successful we've been. I think Moyes maybe prepared to take a minor and small risk on him in that sense. Josh, a key man for Villa. If you're going to get anything out of the game, who would you be expecting to stand up and put in a good performance?
Probably have to say Ollie Watkins, as he's confidence playing, and when he's in form, he is good. He's one of them. He is a bit of a similar player to Antonio. He misses quite a lot of chances. When he's got his head down, he doesn't think about it. It'll probably go in. But when he has time to think about it, he'll probably miss his hardest chance.
That sounds really familiar, Nigel. Doesn't it? Really familiar.
We've got a saying, Josh. It's actually one of my sayings, and I say, I say that Antonio, he can't pass it, he can't turn, he can't control the ball, but if you kick the ball over the top and he doesn't have to think about it, he turns into Ronaldinho.
Yeah, he usually takes his hardest chances, and he's one of them. Sometimes his first touch is just really poor, but then when he's confident and he gets a few, he's usually good then. But hopefully, while he's confident, he obviously got the hat trick against Brighton. He scored with England last week, so hopefully, when he's not a natural goal scorer, so when you've got to play in confidence, and he's got that at the moment, so hopefully he can get a couple at the weekend. But I'm not sure. We've got quite a few dangerous players in attack now. Moussa Diaby as well. It looks a very good signing. Douglas Luiz, John McGinn. But I'd probably say, because the form Watkins did, he'd have to go with Watkins as the danger man.
No, that's fair enough. I've always admired Ollie Watkins, Nigel. I wish we signed him before he went to Villa. I think he's a really good player, and our centre backs, especially Curtis Zuma, I've been very complimentary of so far this season. I think he's been excellent, but he's got his work cut out with Ollie Watkins down the middle. That's for sure.
Definitely, but I really like McGinn. I think he's a great player. He's been, when we've played Villa, he's played really well. Like I said, I know you haven't beaten us, but I feel that those games are really, really difficult against Villa. We have struggled.
I mean, last year at Villa Park was a real struggle for both teams. I mean, it was Fornals that scored that fluky goal to get us off the mark in the end of that Premier League campaign, and on another day that could have went Villa's way easily.
Yeah,
So yeah, it will be close, it will be tight, and yeah, I'm interested to see what happens. I think would be fair to say, Josh, probably a good test for both sides.
Yeah, it'll be an even game. I think. Well, in possession it probably won't be, because you know what, Moyes' team's just going to sit back and they're trying to hit the opposition on the counter. So we're probably
You've been listening to Sean too much, you have, Josh.
We're probably going to have a lot of the ball, but we've got to be careful, because they've got some dangerous players on the break like Bowen, Antonio. So we've really got to be careful. We're also very solid defensively, Zuma, Agard. So when we do get the chances, we're going to have to take them. I do worry about our high line as well. Without Tyrone Mings this season, it's been getting broken down quite a bit, as the defence just simply aren't as quick without him, which worries me with some of West Ham's quick forwards as well. But we've just got, if we get the chances, we've just got to take them, and hopefully we'll be okay. But I'm not sure, just because our record against his last few years, but we'll see what happens.
It just sounds like us versus Brighton. I mean, us going into these Brighton games.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, you know, I've got a bit of confidence, but at the end of the day, we never beat them, and it is sort of nice to be on the other side of it, and hopefully that can repeat itself, and we can get over the line. One player I want to discuss from West Ham's point of view is a player that has got a lot of compliments so far this season. I think has gone under the radar a little bit as well. It's at left back. It's Emerson, who again is going to have his work cut out with. Would it be Diaby on the right wing, Josh? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Diaby usually just plays behind the striker, or sometimes
right.
He moved out to the wing, so I'm not sure. It might be Bailey or Zaniolo. We're not sure what he's going to do. He changes it up, so probably Bailey or Zaniolo.
But yeah, there's some pretty decent, attacking forwards there. Emerson has been very good so far this season, really confirmed his spot in that lineup, and again, hoping for another decent performance from him, Nigel.
Do you know what? Didn't he make his debut against Villa last season on this game?
Did he?
I think
yes, he did. He did, and I tell you what, I thought he was really bad.
Sorry, he
was really bad, wasn't he?
Yeah. I was like, this geezer. He didn't go over the halfway line.
No, he didn't. I'll tell you what, it's all coming back to me now. He was awful.
And I was like, this bloke, I'm not too sure about him, but of late, I've only been speaking about him lately, saying he's mustard going forward. His link-up play, and that's the other day when he took the ball down, went round the keeper, and he's been really, and don't forget Soufal, who's been outstanding this season. So our two wing backs have been been playing really well. But yeah, you're right about Emerson. But I think have a look, Jake, because I'm pretty sure that he might have made his debut against Villa last season.
Yeah, I think you're right. Because I can remember thinking, Christ, this guy's as slow as anything, and he didn't go past the halfway line. Exactly. I'm convinced he didn't. I will multitask and have a little look and see when his West Ham debut was. I'm sure it was that Villa game, but I will have a little I will have a little look. Yeah, there we go. He joined on the 23rd of August 2022, and he made his debut on the 28th of August in a 1-0 away win against Aston Villa. Very good memory,
There you
Nigel.
go, mate. Look at that.
See, right at the top
Pinged in
drawer.
the head because I remember
Yeah.
sitting watching it thinking he's slow.
Yeah, so
He
did
ain't
I.
doing anything. But
Exactly.
there you go. I mean, but some of these players that we do sign, and it isn't, you know what, you can't criticise Moyes for it because we bought some of these players and they have started slow. But then they've just turned into, like, you know what I mean, really, really good players. So, you know, he must be, he must be doing something right, on Moyes.
He is. He is. We'll come on to predictions in just a second. So, Nigel and Josh, think of your predictions whilst I go through these comments. Budgie, thank you very much for the £5 donation to the channel. He says, congratulations on getting your account reinstated, Jake. Don't forget to hit that like button, people. Thank you very much, Budgie. That is greatly appreciated. Shark says, straight into Dad skyrocket that fiver. I can guarantee you it won't be. I can guarantee you it won't be. Don't worry about that, Sharky. Don't worry about that. So, yeah, as I said on the show earlier, it's great to have our monetization back, and because running this stuff ain't cheap, so we've got to fund it somehow. So thank you very much indeed, everyone, for your support in that sense. Right, Josh, you know that you know what's going to happen, but I understand that you're going to have to back your team here. But I want you to give me two predictions: your realistic prediction, and then what you want to happen. Go on, Josh.
I'm probably just going to go with a draw. I'm going to say 1-1. I think we'll probably get the first goal, but then second half, I think West Ham will hit us on the counter and it'll end as a draw. I'm probably just going to go with that. I can't see us winning. We never beat you, so I'm just going to say 1-1.
I think it's telling. I don't know whether it's more the record or how the way we're playing at the moment that Josh is apprehensive to predict a Villa win, but Villa are skyrocketing. Look, I didn't realise until I looked earlier that Villa are fifth in the league. I don't think they were that high up. They've had a really good start to life in the Premier League so far domestically. With that in mind, Nigel, of course you're back in a West Ham win. We love a win up there. 4-1 a couple of years ago, 1-0 last year. What are you thinking? I'm
thinking that we might nick it 2-1. But I don't think it's going to be an easy game.
No.
It never is. But what makes it worse is, and then beating Brighton. I mean, Brighton are a tidy team. We know that. So it's not the same Villa that we've been playing over the last couple of seasons, is it? So, but I do think that we're tight enough not to ship lots of goals anymore. So, but we can score a goal. So, yeah, I reckon 2-1, nick it.
I like it. I'll do our prediction in a second. You guys in the chat, get yours in, and then I will go through mine. I'm not stalling because Nigel nicked my prediction at all. That's not what's going on here. Thank you very much, Nigel, for that. Again, you're not coming back next week. Peter says 13 home league games, one on the trot. That means if we snatch a draw, it would be a good result. There's that tweet going around on Twitter of our record pretty much since we beat Man United towards the back end of last season. We just haven't lost many football matches. I mean, we've only lost 2 so far this season in the opening 9 games. That's to Liverpool and Man City, which most teams will lose to this season. And I think there's every right for us to be confident with the record, the way we're playing, and yes, taking into consideration how good of a team Aston Villa are. I still think we've got the quality there to nick it. I was going to go 2-1, but I'm now going to have a repeat of last year's result, a 1-0, when I think it'll be quite similar actually. I think it'll be a little bit cagey perhaps. We're going to sit back, Villa are going to have the ball, and a second half goal maybe from Kudus off of the bench, or a quick counter attack, or a set piece goal to get a 1-0 win. Josh, some final thoughts?
Just left up to Villa. Let's hope we win.
Expert analysis as always, Josh. Thank you very much for that. Sharky says 2-1. Come on, you irons. 1-1 draw. I'm not taking that. We need to win. We need 3 points. Sorry, Josh. And the bonus of it is I'm going on holiday Saturday, so there's no roundup show next week. So if we win, then don't worry, we'll be coming back to it the week after. If you win, there'll be no mention of it the week after. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. But I'm sure Sean will have to mention it. Sean is saying, I don't think a draw is a brilliant result, setting a low bar. So Sean isn't impressed that you're being quite pessimistic, Josh. He wants you to predict a win.
No, I can't. I don't know. I've never seen us beat them. Really can't see it. I'd love to say 2-1, but I'm not sure. Last year under Emery, we got a draw at your place, which was an improvement. But I don't know. We know we're going to have all the ball. It's just whether we can take our chances and just if we can break it down or not. So I'm still going to stick to 1-1, I think.
There we go. And hopefully, Nigel, we've got no injuries that we're unaware of from the international break. We've got a fully fit squad, and we can, continue where we left off in a positive manner.
Definitely. I can't believe that we've gone through a whole show and not mentioned Pakatoro Ward-Prowse.
True. Go on then. Mention them in some capacity.
Just been brilliant this season, haven't they?
Yeah.
Both of them. Been fantastic. So as long as they can keep their form up, I think we'll do all right this season. As long as we can keep them two going, because they've been brilliant, both of them.
Yeah, and they've been pivotal to us picking up the results we have done so far this season. And Moyes will be hoping that those two specifically will be on form and ready to destroy the Villa. Hey, Josh, to just not quite destroy. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? Right, let's take your final comments. Get your final predictions in as well. Better late than never, Mr. Terry Newsham. I hope you are well. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Peter says Alvarez got a ban coming soon, one more booking, and he's got a 1-match ban. That is correct. 3-1 West Ham says budget 3-2. I was thinking 3-2, but I'm thinking, there's maybe not. I went 1-0. I went a bit safe. Terry is not going safe at all with a 4-3 away win. It's going to be mental. It is going to be mental. So let's just explain what's going to happen here. So Terry's going. I'm going to be sat on a cruise ship in France, drinking non-alcoholic beverages whilst watching the game, and hopefully seeing a win. And I've heard from my sources, Terry's going to send us some videos to put on as well, which will be great. So yeah, I won't be there, but Terry will be there. Nigel, of course, will be there. And yeah, it will be all good, of course. Right, final predictions 3-2, all 2-2. You're changing your mind, Jay Desmond. Who knows? Now we've had a bit of controversy, Nigel, because Terry's parking spot has been cancelled on Just Park. Do you know where you're parking at Villa Park?
Where are we parking? We're parking because normally we park, if you get there early enough, just down past the Witten Arms. It's an industrial estate.
Yeah.
You get there 2.5 hours before, you can normally get a space in there. But this time we have parked, whereabouts? We paid £8.
Ooh.
And we are parking. It's not
It's the G Business Centre.
the G Business Centre.
All very sophisticated. Josh, have you got any top tips for parking around Aston Villa Football Stadium?
We usually park round that industrial estate.
That's the one.
Yeah.
There we go. See, Terry, get yourself to that industrial estate, mate, and you'll be all right. So yeah, we will leave it there. Josh and Nigel, thank you very much indeed for joining me. I hope to see a West Ham win. I hope to see a good game, of course. And Josh, I will see you in a couple of weeks for a roundup show.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Nigel. Thank you very much. Any final thoughts, you two?
Well, Ward-Prowse free kick would be nice, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, direct into the top corner.
Yeah.
We haven't had one
We've
yet.
yet to see
Let's
one
have
yet.
one. Yeah.
We've seen a couple go whistle close, but
Yeah.
we want one in the top corner, really, don't we?
Yeah.
So hopefully, I reckon we might. No, you know what dirty players at Villa more barge, you know what I mean? Choppers.
Horrible lot, aren't they? Horrible.
I mean, so we might get a free kick.
Yeah, of course. From us, come on, you irons, up the Villa from Josh. And we will see you soon right here on West Ham Official. Thank you very much. This will be my final live stream. I'm going for a week. You're not going to see me for a week. There'll be some sort of content along the way. I'm not sure what, but enjoy your week free of me. And I will see you maybe next Saturday, maybe in never. You never know what might happen. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
See you later. Ciao, guys.